So, what are you doing? Oh, I'm just trying to, like, stick a pillow or cushion down my top so I look bigger. Yeah, look, I'm just gonna level with you. That is really, really not normal. Who said anything about normal? I just want to be jacked. Time, I'm another bald a-hole here with Gerald the fitness mascot. You know what we're talking about. Also pimping out my own tees right here on the video because I'm just that kind of a guy. Why don't you get one for Christmas? Today we're kind of gonna pull back the window, pull back the curtains, and we're gonna stare outside, and we're gonna talk about the obsession with wanting to be big, right? With wanting to be muscly and all of it. Because it ties into, well, a term that I've known for years, and I'm sure you have as well, but one that websites, mainstream websites have absolutely jumped on, which is bigorexia. Now, I'm sure you can figure it out. Anorexia is when you don't eat enough and you become really skinny and you become obsessed with looking that way. And bigorexia is when we go in the opposite direction, where you're obsessed with having a certain shape and size. It's kind of more in the field of men, because there's this image out there that if you are a man, you've got to be tough, you've got to be big, you've got to look a certain way. And it's kind of become more prevalent over the years, and I understand why, because, well, I mean, Instagram and social media have made it far more popular, I suppose, to look that way. And if you're not in that shape and you see it, you think, oh man, I want to get there. And it is easy to get obsessed. But when you break it all down, why does anybody start going to the gym to begin with? It's not that you like going to the gym, because you don't know. You've never gone. I'm not saying that you can't be in there for 5 minutes and all of a sudden decide, oh my gosh, I love this. That's what happened to me. First time I went to gym when I was 16 years old. I'll get into the, the whys and the whens in a minute. But I did one bicep curl and I was like, I want to do this forever. Something about it just felt good. And it's been the foundation and the building blocks of my life ever since. And thank goodness for that. But again, before I walked in those doors, I had no clue what I was going to think. Maybe I'd have gone in there and gone, oh, this is the worst thing ever. And I would have suffered through it and moan, which is what I kind of do anyway. But this is a joke. People missed that in the comments. But the reason I went there is because I was being bullied. I think we've talked about it on a video before. I was being bullied. My self-worth was really low. I didn't have much confidence. I wasn't really a shy kid, but I had become shy through the circumstances of my surroundings. And so, because I was a big fan of professional wrestling, and I looked up to guys like Triple H and so on and so forth, I thought, well, if I can look like those guys, maybe nobody will ever mess with me anymore. Because look at Triple H, for example. Who the hell would mess with him? Now, that soon ventured off into a different direction because, again, I got into it and I enjoyed the process and the food and the diet and the way it made me feel. But that's why we go to the gym. That's the reason we go to the gym. We go to the gym because we want to make ourselves feel better. And I would say that 90% of the people go because they are suffering from confidence issues or self-worth issues or things we just talked about. And you assume that if you are going to get your physical appearance in a better shape, because I don't mean this in a bad way, but you can't do anything about your face. I mean, some people are very happy with their face. Most people, I'd imagine, would change some things. Again, that's just human nature. But you can't do anything about your face unless you're going to star in an incredible movie in the mid-90s with Nicolas Cage and John Travolta. But even then, you still got to choose somebody else's face, so it's quite hard. But when it comes to your physique, you can actually have some control over that. And 9 times out of 10, what happens is you get to your goal, be it losing a couple of stone, putting on some pounds of muscle and just seeing some kind of a change. And you soon realize it's the dangling carrot that we haven't brought up in a while. That's not enough. Then you need to go on to another goal. You need to go on to another goal. Then you're looking for something else. And soon you realize, actually, there is no ending to any of this. You are never going to wake up. One day you may do, but consistently, you're never going to wake up and be like, man, I look awesome. I'm going to go out there and smash the world. And that's where things like bigorexia come into play, because you can never be big enough. A lot of people say to me, comments, not my friends and family, they get it, they understand who I am. They go, oh, you've got bigorexia and stuff like that. Yeah, I probably do, on a smaller scale, because it doesn't ruin my life. It kind of comes down to the definition of insanity, right? Not the definition of insanity, sorry, what insanity is. You can't be insane if you know you're insane, because insanity is someone that is doing crazy things but assumes they're acting normally, because that's how they see the world. Am I aware that sometimes maybe I get a little bit obsessed with the gym and muscles? Yes, but I make sure I tear it all back. In my mid to late 20s, way too over the line. I couldn't go, if I went over 2 to 3 hours without eating, I thought I was taking a huge step backwards and it was being a negative effect on my gymming, and I was eating way too much protein. I had to go everywhere with snacks in my bag, and so I let it control my life. But that was okay. It was all good. I realized it. I moved on. I made sure I shifted some things around, and now I'm in a far better place with it. I'm far more flexible with it, and surprise, surprise, as soon as you do that and get your cortisol levels, your stress hormone down, you will see better gains anyway, because that's how your body works. The more cool you are with this stuff, the better you develop and the better you evolve. Sometimes you have to go through that crap to get there, and there's nothing wrong with wanting to be bigger all the time. Again, as long as you are aware of it, and as long as you are making sure that you're keeping it contained, because do not allow the gym to become your salvation, right? That was the best thing I've ever said. Well, thanks, brain. Been waiting for you to kick into gear for ages, but do not let it become your salvation, because it's just not. And I tell you that the gym, it is not your salvation. The gym cannot save you, but it can give you really good biceps, and an excellent chest pump is better than having sex. And it's the same with all things in life. Don't let relationships be your salvation, or money, or your dream job, or whatever, because as soon as you get it, you will want something else. That's just what we do. Now, the best thing you can do is take all of those things that I just said, throw them into one pot, and together, they'll probably bring you some kind of satisfaction. But guess what? If you're not, I'm getting well too cheesy now, but it's true. If you're not happy in here, in your abdomen apparently, in here, and in here, all of it is just a fruitless task. You're just continually chasing the dragon every day. Oh, well, that one didn't work, but this one will work. And that one didn't work with this one. No, you have to just take a moment, look around, smell the roses. And I'm not saying it's as easy as that, especially, I know I've known a few people that have anorexia. That is a horrible disease. It can kill people. I mean, so can bigorexia, really, because you may enter the world of steroids or taking things that you shouldn't be. And if you're not well versed and well educated on them, then yeah, you're probably going to, well, maybe not necessarily die, but end up in a bad place health wise. And you just don't want to get into it, right? It's just, that's not why you started doing this. That's not going to bring you happiness either. If anything, it's going to bring more problems into your life, because you don't want to open that door. I see so many people saying to themselves, oh, Simon, I want to get my, but this is the thing, Simon, how do I get my dream body? How do I get my perfect body? How do I start? How do I do this? Do not look at it that way. It's good to have goals, but it's good to have small, realistic goals. Because as soon as you say, I want to be Brad Pitt from Fight Club, which is always the number one, I never get it. Like, the dude was lean. He had no mass. Makes no sense to me. But look, everyone's different. As soon as you say you want that, if you're not there in 1 week, 2 week, 3 week, 4 weeks, you're just going to start feeling worse. So a small realistic goal, if you don't go to the gym, is go to the gym for 3 days next week. Anybody can do that. Even if you just walk into the gym, turn around and walk out again, you still achieve that goal. And the goal after that can be go in the gym and make sure you do 10 minutes worth of exercise. There is no pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. And that's a good thing. It's a good thing, because it means you can start working on yourself now. You can start working on your confidence, self-worth, and inner being right now. How you do that is going to be different to everyone. Maybe you need to talk to someone. Maybe you just need to appreciate the moment. One of the best books I've ever read. 2 best books I've ever read. One, The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle, I believe is the author. I mean, it is way like fruity dooty and hoopy loopy, but if you can get into it. At one point he starts talking about, man, like, get rid of all man-made things around you and you will find out you're sitting in a field. It's like, oh my gosh, he's right. And the other one is feel the fear and do it anyway. And these are my kind of 2 barometers for life. That's not the right word at all. My inspirations for life. Make sure you ground yourself in the moment, because ultimately this is all that exists. But also make sure that when these opportunities come up that scare the absolute crap out of you, step into it and make sure you do it, because it's there where you grow, and it's there where you may actually find satisfaction and all these other things that come along with it. And I'm not telling you not to go to the gym. I'm not telling you not to get in shape. I'm saying that should probably be your anchor. That should be the thing that you're always doing, because it gives you something to do. It gives you a plan for the day. You're going to get an endorphin rush. You're going to feel good. Also, it's great when you feel like you're in shape. It feels like you could run a marathon, and 9 times out of 10 you can. So you have to have other things going on, and you have to make sure you bring them in. And if you do get too obsessed with it, I can attain to this. If you do get too obsessed with it, it will start to kick your own ass. That's no fun. You don't want to have your ass kicked, especially not from something like the gym. The gym can't even move. If you're going to have your ass kicked, it should be by a guy called Jim who's super jacked. And you can go, man, maybe I can get super jacked, and I go kick Jim's ass. But remember, keep it all balanced. And the other thing as well is that we're all desperate to look good. But what does look good even mean? Like, my girlfriend thinks professional bodybuilders look like aliens. And I'm like, you're crazy. Professional bodybuilders look absolutely incredible. They're the pinnacle to me. I understand I'm never going to get there. And again, we talked about Brad Pitt and other things. There is no like stereotypical or just one body or one fitness routine or whatever that everyone's going to go for, because we're individuals. And that's why you just got to make sure you're happy with where you are. Or if you're not, decide what you need just to be a little bit happier. And that's the goal. It's always just a little bit happier. Maybe you do need to leave a couple of pounds, or maybe you need to increase your strength, or maybe you need to tidy up your diet. It's just these teeny little things that eventually will all culminate and come together. And then hopefully you'll be able to paste on to other areas of your life, such as relationships and works. And you kind of get this little like hamster wheel going, and you're rolling and you've got your routine and everything's going all right. Now, sometimes life's going to upset that. It's going to come over and push the hamster wheel down. Now, that's not very nice to do it to a hamster. It's so small and cute, much like Gerald the fitness mascot. But then it comes down to cheesy phrases like, it's not about getting knocked down. It's how you pick yourself back up. And that's not easy. That's never easy. Like, take lockdown right now. One of the hardest things, and I know you're all going through it too, is that we were all making certain goals and doing really well in the gym, and then they close them down, and they open them, and then they close them down, and some people, like I know in America, have them, and some people don't, and it throws off your routine. That's what it does, and you're worried that without the kind of the path that you're used to, maybe all of your hard work will undo itself, but it won't. I mean, one, you've got muscle memory, so your body will regrow it or get back there quicker than it would otherwise. But two, you still did that stuff. You still did that stuff. A good friend of mine broke up with their partner the other day, and they're like, I feel like I've wasted my time. And I was like, you haven't wasted your time at all. I don't know how long that relationship was. I say it was 3 years. That's 3 years worth of, experiencing somebody else, getting to know yourself better, and you can take all of this and apply it to the next relationship you have, and any mistakes you did make, you won't make them again. And maybe you didn't stand up for yourself enough in that relationship, or maybe you didn't sort of get your own wants and needs out there. Well, now you can do that. Maybe you need to compromise more. Maybe you need to compromise less. And it's the same with the gym. Look, while you do have downtime, if you do, look about what you were doing in the gym and figure out what was working and what wasn't working, and make sure that when you can go and smash it again, you're in a better place. And that's always the way to deal with this stuff. It truly and it really is, because it's all ultimately fruitless anyway. I may see you and think, wow, you look great. And somebody else may see you, but they may be into video games. They couldn't give two hoots that you've got a massive vein coming out of your bicep. Do shit for you. Don't like to swear there, but we did. Do it for you. And do not let it get too much. If you can. It's not that easy. And again, please do go and talk to someone otherwise. But it was a great question that someone asked me the other day. Why do you work out, Miller? Like, what is the obsession? And I was like, I just like it. But there's so much more to that when you start diving into it. And I was like, hey ho, we got a YouTube channel. Why don't we do one of those videos where we just rant and rave? And there you go, the muscle obsession. That's what I think about it, but please do let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I think there's loads we can talk to about this, and I'd love to have the conversation. I think it's really important. Like the video, share the video, subscribe, smash the bell, ding ding, so you know when other videos going live. Got merchandise, got a Patreon, got Twitter and Instagram. Just check out the description below if it takes your fancy. There should be another video right there, over there to the left of my head, or right, whichever. I think it's left. I don't even know. Click it if you fancy, and otherwise, me and the G will see you on the other side.